Who's calling it? Who's calling it? Who's calling it? Who's calling it? Who?
Good. I don't know if this is the right way to walk in or not, but good morning. How you guys doing? It's a sunny day here in Chicago. We're here at the Cars.com headquarters. Going to be doing some panel speaking today on two different topics. One is on buying centers. The other one is on, actually, I don't even know what the other one is. We're going to find out, but there is two topics. I'm on two panels today. It should be a fun day. I'm here with for AccuTrade, which is a great software that is an appraisal software that helps buying centers buy more cars. So we'll see how it goes, but looking forward to meeting all the different people today.
Who? Yeah. OVO Sound 2025.
I made it.
Far away.
There you go. No, absolutely. Happy to be here. 11? Does that sound right?
Is it Stacy? Is it Becky? Is it
Pretty cool.
Ben?
I'm Ben.
Howard, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right. I watch your videos all the time.
Thanks. Well, at least somebody's watched them. You're one of my 3 viewers. Yes. I love it.
You're out in Delray, West Palm?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
good.
So I'll be building some buying centers and
Oh, yeah, man.
yeah, loving it. So it's a good time.
That's where it's at these days.
It is.
Yeah.
It's frustrating, but
I know.
it's because it's uncharted territory sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and the scams, like, I mean, when it comes to Florida, it's like the epicenter
I'm
of.
on the other side of Florida.
Okay.
I'm in Sarasota,
So
but
you
I
know.
was on your coast for a bit.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something, man. You don't have your head screwed on straight over.
Oh,
they got to hand it right back to you.
100%.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
Yeah.
Where the function? Where the function? The way I feel right now, I feel like we need to be all alone. So if you just playing around, you need to tell your girl, take a fine home, and that's real. Stop teasing me, stop teasing me. I could change your life so easily. I keep begging you to stay, but you're leaving me. We got sticks in the club illegally. Got the whole 6 side, they believe in me. We got members east of the DVP. We got members west on the 401. We got a lock on the game, but there's more to come. You gotta pot that till the morning come. You want shots for the girls, they don't order some. Who's calling it? Who's calling it? Who's calling it? Who's calling it? Who? Hey.
Is it Stacy? Is it
Becky?
Is it
Keisha?
Is it
Ashley?
Was it
Danny?
Is it
Party?
Where's the function?
Where the function?
First of all, what's your take on this?
Those are just obstacles, right? That's it. It's a mindset, right? So if you set your mind to not be successful, you're not going to be successful. So your sales guys are going to come along and come up with an excuse of why you can't. So I just told you I buy a couple hundred cars a month through AccuTrade, and the reality is where the first one is the client's lying about the condition. The reality is, or at least for our place, 95% of the customers are actually accurate and trustworthy, right? 5% maybe are not telling you the truth. So are you going to change your whole business model because of 5%, or are you going to do what 95% of people do? So there's things and processes you have to put in place at your dealership to combat those types of scenarios, but you can't put your focus solely on that I'm going to get screwed. Because if you're set out to go buy cars off the street, your mindset is I'm going to get screwed, you're not going to buy any cars, right? So the whole idea that the customer's lying, it's just not really true. Right. You've never been screwed at an auction ever, I guarantee it. Overpaying, leaving money. Really, number 2 and number 3 is CarMax, Carvana. You have to have consistency. You can't set the mindset that this person, I'm going to lay them out. Or this person, this little lady doesn't know what her car's worth. No, stop actually trying to size up the customer and just size up the vehicle. Price the vehicle what the vehicle should be priced with, and you'll be a lot more successful. Because if you sit there and try to size up the situation, you're going to lose every time because you're going to not pinpoint that customer correctly. And we talked about it. If you leave a customer and he leaves negative, he's going to tell all his friends, and you're just not going to be successful. It's really that simple. So we touched on these 3 points, and a little bit about me. So I own Cash Now Auto. I actually was a Chicago native. I owned a car dealership here called Midwest Motors. I was in Lake Zurich, Illinois. Decided to get out and move to sunny Florida because I didn't know I had seasonal blues. But I owned a company called Dealer Service and Marketing. I still own it. I sold for some dealer groups here large dealer groups, Chicagoland area, at auctions. And I learned that really quickly, dealerships tend to not utilize different platforms correctly for wholesaling their cars. But COVID happened, and I was like, oh shit, now I have no cars to sell. These dealers don't want to sell me anything, and I have to go reinvent myself. So I did a small stint with, who here has heard of Give Me the VIN, maybe? If you haven't, they're acquiring somewhere in the neighborhood of 1,000 to 1,500 cars a week, but that's how I learned about AccuTrade, and Robert Holland said. So fast forward, I was like, why am I not acquiring cars? Why am I not filling myself up with cars so I don't have to depend on anyone else? And I'm an independent, right? Like, so your new car franchise stores can go ahead and acquire cars from, because you're selling new cars. I have to go off the street or go to an auction, right? So obviously first base, buying them off AccuTrade. So it takes some marketing, right? You're gonna have to spend money on Google or other ways to get the leads. I get $3,000 leads per month, right? So it takes a lot to manage it. I get 3,000 leads approximately per month. Yeah, it varies, but yes, in approximately about 3,000, right? And again, to me, a good percent closing ratio would be about 10%, right? So if you can close 10, there's guys that do a lot better than us, but we're kind of all over. We'd buy everything from a $100 car to a $1 million car. So we don't send anything back. We'll buy anything. But going back to the main question here, sight unseen, that was the game changer for my place, right? Again, I, as an owner, made obstacles. I found reasons to not buy a car. And when I started changing the answer is getting on the phone with the customer, or having my people get on the phone with the customer, and just ask what are you looking for? But then ask, somebody else mentioned on this panel, ask questions, right? Like, hey, when was the last time you got an oil change? Or when was the last time you put tires on the car? You start building rapport with the customer. You start understanding the car. You start understanding who you're dealing with, right? Like, there's always that jerk off, excuse my terminology, we're all in the car business, that says, you're too low, or, that's not what I want. Well, what are you looking for, Mr. Customer? But you can do all this through the phone, right? So 95% of the time, I go to a customer's house. They don't even come to my dealership. I send somebody there. We do a quick inspection, and we always leave about $500 in reconditioning. And it was a good point. You said acquiring a car from an auction, it costs you about $2,000. So don't go into the idea that when you're going to this individual's home or whatever, you're not going to put any money into it. If you sit there and nickel and dime, you're going to lose that customer. But if you know that you may have to put $500 of reconditioning into a vehicle, and you go to their home, you give them convenience, now you're competing with CarMax. Now you're competing with Carvana. And you're actually able to pull stuff that you thought you never could. You just have to set the structure in a similar way. Number one takeaway would be, we're saying the same thing, but is just you have to be consistent, like I said, set your processes in place, and build confidence from your customers. And by doing those things, by not putting blinders up and believing what the customer is telling you 95% of the time, and not trying to pull wool over customers' eyes, builds that confidence. And last thing that I'm sure everyone's doing, but continue to do, is get those reviews, get those photos, get a picture of them next to the car that they sold you the car, because people like seeing other people selling you things. Yeah. So Casho Auto, I'm in Delray Beach, Florida. And it's a standalone buying center. It's combined with my luxury car dealership, but honestly, that's not a profit center. It's more my toy to play with some exotic cars. But the real money is in acquiring cars. And here's where I differ than a lot of you guys. I actually take these cars and I sell them at auction, right? So I'm able to acquire cars from individuals and turn a profit, a healthy profit, buying cars off individuals off the street. So the number one thing I would tell you is staffing, and staffing the right people, because people make, as everyone knows, makes your dealership, but makes your buying center. We talked about a little bit earlier about credibility, right? So you have to make sure whoever is giving the appraisals, we talked about AI and tools, right? So AccuTrade's great, and you're gonna use that tool to come up with a value, but there is still some human intervention, right? Where you gotta really look at the car, really understand the options, but you gotta make sure you empower the right person to make those decisions. And when you empower that person's gonna make some mistakes. There's gonna be stumbling along the way. You have to empower them to keep, projecting and getting them to become a solid buyer, right? It's not something you're gonna learn overnight. There's a lot of probably used car managers here that think they know everything, no disrespect, and that, you could pull up MMR. There's a lot more that goes into determining a value, right? You gotta watch market trends. That's one thing too. So a lot of people will pull out a book. We talked about EVs and losing tax credits and things like that. So EVs are starting to go down. So when you're building your buying center, you really need to know the trends that are happening in the industry, why certain models are going up, and you kind of want to watch those trends. But I'll tell you, I'm probably not putting enough sometimes into vehicles, although I said what I meant earlier is we're consistent. We have a very specific way we appraise the cars. We use AccuTrade. We'll look at MMR. We'll try to forecast what that car is going to bring at either Manheim, ACV, Dealer Club. We'll use one of those platforms to sell the vehicle afterwards. So again, last tidbit of information I would give you is don't be selective. You're buying everything. You have a buying center, you're buying everything. You can't pick and choose. There's no such thing as a used car factory. Yes, there's specific cars that'll work for your dealership, but buy everything. I just told you, I buy these cars and I'm able to turn a profit, bring them to the auction. So believe it or not, your new car store, your used car store can have a profit center buying cars off individuals that may not pass your muster, they may not pass your service department. Don't be afraid to buy them. There's other avenues to turn a profit. Dealer Club, one of these other channels to go ahead and sell it afterwards. You don't have to keep it for retail.
So three things I think about on that. One, you live and breathe best end user, which Brian will hit on later, right? So as you're buying everything, you got to figure out that best end user to make those kind of monies. And even if you're taking it to the auction, there's certain auctions that car is going to perform better.
Correct, 100%.
The second thing I was thinking about is the foundation of this all goes back into sight unseen appraisals, right? Sight unseen appraisals, you're either in or out. If you're in, okay, now how do I do that? Service reps, private parties, what do I go to people that come to me? Do I build a BDC call center? So this is the part we want to talk about. And the third thing I thought about is, think about this, guys. He built a business on doing this because why? Most dealers aren't. So he found a hole. Because if dealers were doing this, there'd be, and so he shared secrets.
The reality is this, and I'm not here to thank you guys for not putting enough money into your cars. I mean, that's what it is. At the end of the day, I have a business because your dealership, maybe not yours specifically, isn't doing business in today's time, right? My whole business model, I should go out of business in the next 5 years if you take something from this. I don't want to. Hopefully you'll hire me, please. But you should be buying cars way differently than you are. And the last thing I'll touch on again is having the old system, desking at a deal, giving your used car or giving the salesperson a number, and he has no confidence. He doesn't even understand where the number came from. He wears that on his shirt when he goes and gives it to the customer. Oh, your customer's only worth 12 grand. Oh, I wanted 15. He has no reason and no way to explain to him that his car is only worth 12. I also believe in this. We talked about sight unseen appraisals, but I also still believe in human interaction. And one thing I would touch on is still fillet the car. Bring back the old school in you a little bit. Go back out and show the customer the damage on the car because they could relate then if you are adjusting it for something. So people may disagree with me, but I still think that old school mentality of going out and looking at the car with the customer is sometimes important as well.
That's a good leeway, Alex. A year or two. It takes a little bit of time, but
Yeah.
0 to over 200 in a town of like 10,000 people. Alex, go ahead. How do you overcome that stuff? Because I think that's one of the biggest challenges. Not only competing, cut a check, same day, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry, not Alex.
Sorry.
Same.
Yes, no, all good. So a couple things that I do that is different and unique, and I don't want to get lynched here, but I actually put my buyers on a commission plan where they could either win or lose with me. So they make a percentage off, the profitability of the car, but if the car loses, they participate in that loss. That keeps them understanding the market of the car, and it's to me, it's been a game changer involving the person in the profitability of that used car. Because again, it's a huge profit center for your stores. So somebody should get rewarded by doing a good job, right? So that's one of the things we do, and I don't know that everyone does that. Budget, you gotta set aside a budget. You have to have a budget for advertisement. Again, we use Google, we use other, pay-per-clicks, we use Facebook, but you have to have a source to bring the people to your site to start, bringing the vehicles.
So here's what I want to do. I'm going to call out, and I see David Spizak and Brian Kramer over there talking, but what I want to do here, I've asked enough questions. I'm going to open it up to the floor. The reason why I chimed in on them, because if I'm missing anything or any other softballs or grenades you guys want to throw. But raise the hand dealers, anybody out here struggling, questions for this team on what they did and didn't do. All right, let me get a mic. Can I grab your mic? Thank you.
So you guys have done this multiple times with buying centers. For all the dealers who do not have a buying center, what was your biggest mistake as part of the process of establishing it?
What do you mean?
If you had to go back and not do something, if you were building a buying center again, what would that one thing be that you realized was a mistake the first time?
Oh, so you try to build it, it fell apart.
Correct.
So looking back on, if we would have just done that, it would have worked out?
Correct.
All right, so
I didn't start soon enough.
Yeah, well, soon enough, and I would say you got to be committed. You got to put both feet in. You can't do something, excuse my terminology, half-assed. If you're going to do it, you got to go all in, and you got to be committed to do it. And nothing is built overnight. It's going to take time to build it up, ramp it up, train your staff, but just do it. Don't stop making excuses. Everyone here, we all tend to make excuses. You just got to just do it. It's that simple. Again, we use AccuTrade. It's kind of a joke in our office that AccuTrade is the future, MMR is the past. There's some truth to that because AccuTrade's taking data and aggregating it, and it's kind of predicting into the future a little bit. MMR is what happened yesterday at the auction or the week prior in the auction. So, but ultimately you've got to use MMR, you've got to use AccuTrade, you got to use all the tools at your disposal. But you have to know where the car's going in the market. Are we in an uptick market, a downturn market? Are we going to a spring season for a Corvette or a Lamborghini? So there's seasonal changes. There's all these different things, and that's why us up here, we can take cars and actually make a profit at the auction because we're not putting MMR into it. Because if I put MMR, that's likely what it may sell for or potentially less, right? So knowing that data, knowing what MMR is faring, knowing that maybe the market's coming down and we're seeing 97.5% of MMR values right now. So obviously, if I put 100% of MMR, I lost 2.5% plus the fee, right? So again, use MMR as a guideline to help come up with the value, but you're going to use that. I hate to use, cars.com, AutoTrader, some of these other platforms for retail, but know what you're going to do with the vehicle is also very important. Are you buying this car for your retail, for your lot? And remember, going right back to, if you had to acquire that car at the auction, he's buying Lamborghinis, he's going to have a $3,500 buy fee. We forgot about one other big one, is transportation. And the other thing is, regardless of, you really don't know what you bought at the auction. You might have a condition report. It might say it's a 4.5, and I'm not going to, there's ways to make your CR reports better at auction. We'll just leave it alone at that. You're welcome. So when you actually have the car at your facility, you could touch, feel it, look at it. You have more time with it. So, again, if you're acquiring that car for retail for you, you're much better off putting more money into that car sitting at your lot. And so using those guides, but then just know where you're going to fare from a retail market. Where are you going to advertise this car? How are you going to put your best foot forward? How is it going to look like this car is the right price? Is that hopefully?
Yeah, that's right.
And then, so you said you have a bid platform where you send stuff that you don't keep and you just send it out to dealers?
Yeah, well, I've got, they're all within like a 10-mile radius.
Okay.
And
What do you do with like really big, heavy cars, like expensive cars? Do you ever get people that try to sell anything?
Not too many, but I mean, I've got a Mercedes guy and a Porsche guy that they'll pay the,
Okay.
but I mean, I've only had a handful of cars over 6 figures.
Okay.
I mean,
If you ever do, that's like our bread and
That's your
butter.
bread
It's like
and
we do a
butter.
ton of that
Yeah.
type of stuff as well. We're in a good market. Palm Beach is.
Yeah, that's perfect. Ooh,
So
I know somebody that might actually want this green one.
it's yours. Obviously,
Yeah, I know somebody that, so I have a customer.
the only and it's fixable. I don't know why we missed it. There's a small dent on the hood that it'll come out, but it's just we haven't PDR'd it yet. So
Okay.
beyond
It's
that,
a
everything's
PDR
there.
thing, no
It's
doubt.
definitely a PDR. It's not like anything's gouged. And one of the things about me is, relationships, everything. So I would go through the car one more time and just pre-tell you if there's anything.
This one. This miles green.
It's the green one that's got the small dent in the hood.
Is it the large battery pack? What does it say?
And again, this is where my ignorance.
No,
I'm
you're
pretty sure.
fine. There's just, it's just
I know there's different ones. I'm pretty sure it has the large body pack, but you would. I thought
there's standard, large, and max. Standard's a kiss of death.
it's not a standard. It's
Max
but I don't
is
think it's the max.
Probably not. They're pretty
Yeah,
rare.
I've never seen a max.
Yeah, they're very rare.
So what is the? So it's funny. I can't stand the way they drive. Everyone to each his own.
Yeah.
But it's you play with the settings a lot in there. So there's like stiff ride. And
Yeah.
The problem was it was in like soft ride. And I went to go. I like literally thought I was going to tip the fucking thing over on the highway. I don't know if you enjoy driving or not.
Oh, well, it's an acquired taste.
Yeah,
There's no
and the
doubt about
regenerative
it.
braking on there is pretty aggressive. So
Yeah, it is, and you can turn that down a little too. But
Right.
if you haven't driven it very much, it can be a very uncomfortable first experience.
yeah, it was. It was like
No doubt about it.
again, I'm not a huge overall EV, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't mind Teslas, and
Yeah.
obviously the Plaid's cool and other shit like that. But I got in this thing and I'm like, what the fuck? Big difference from buying like a Land Rover or something else. Just
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Rivian overtook Land Rover in California in registrations.
Are you serious?
Yeah, Rivian
Holy
is the new
shit.
California SUV.
So for out by California, your market, Rivians do pretty well, I would assume,
They
overall?
do, and
Okay.
also Utah's got a lot of bad weather.
Yeah.
So big SUVs and snow and
Makes
stuff.
sense.
So yeah, they do well.
That's
I
logical.
definitely am going to make you an offer on these. I need to
Yeah.
get my computer out and
Yeah.
but let me do. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a little help from my friends, so I'm going to get my computer out. So
when you said you apply AI in your business, do you use AI to put numbers on vehicles based on, or is it just for getting back to customers?
Yeah, they're conversational. So
Okay.
when somebody puts in a bid or a request for a trade, it goes through AccuTrade, it gives them an instant offer range. Then it goes straight into our AI, and our AI starts talking to them via text message.
All right, so we have something
How
similar.
do they feel about it?
Yeah.
Where we sit, answer a few more questions. But then it
Now, did you train it to what to say, or so you've programmed it? So we're using, and I'm sorry to pick your brain about it. So one of the things we did that was genius, or not genius, but it's been really helpful, is we put auto dialers in place. Because we get auto dialers, we get so many, so we'll do voicemail drops. They can tell it's seamless, but we've really struggled with AI. So we're trying. I think it's actually called Yellow AI. Have you ever heard of this company? It's interlaced with Ring Central, but the problem is they all talk a big game. They want a lot of money, and then the delivery is their execution's been shit so far. So
it's been great, but partially it's because I've got their ear as an early.
but you said it's also part of your like.
Yeah, it's part of my old life too. And so,
It's funny. I was in the computer business prior. That's where I made money. I'm still struggling to make money. I mean, I make money, but there's.
I know, trust me, I get it. But we really didn't train it specifically, and one of the advantages we have is our vehicles are pretty narrow.
Yeah.
And so and trades we get. Believe it or not, a lot of our trades are very similar. We get a lot of Subarus. We get a lot of trucks.
I would have suspected that you would have gotten. It's the you're pulling a lot of Subaru owners out of cars. You're pulling
and gas
and
people
gas.
that have big gas bills. So,
And I know people probably think you're nuts that you only do EVs, but at the
Oh,
same
boy, do
time,
they ever.
no. But everyone has to.
Dude,
But
yeah.
the old saying is, you do what you're good at, outsource the rest. If that's what you're good at and it's your niche, why
it's our
dabble
niche.
in the other?
Yeah, and my point to everybody is like, there's a big enough market there for a few people to win big.
Yeah.
It's not like everybody has to.
Well, everyone has to eat, and and if you can keep a sustainable business.
Popular cars overall, so yeah, it's been bumpy though.
I just again, I don't.
Volatile asset.
The big beautiful bill wasn't so beautiful for you.
No, it wasn't. I mean, but I saw it coming.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was going to be, going to last forever. I thought it would last a little longer, maybe to the end of the year. But it is what it is.
It actually is going to affect me, and the reason I like it, again, not you're retailing them, but I would know it just from a wholesale perspective because other dealerships or other places didn't know to put what value.
Yep.
Because you could put 2 Gs too much into it, and you were fine.
Yeah.
So I would sell them an ACV. Probably a guy like you is on ACV or one of these platforms, and I'm like, holy shit, MMR might be. I'm making up the number, 18 grand. I'm getting 21 grand, and I'm making $3 grand gross.
Which is
and it's all because of that rebate.
Yeah,
But now. We'll see.
I just sent these to my 2 guys.
Yeah. Please, you got my number.
Yep. and
You got my
I'll get your
name.
Number and I'll just, let me just see what they say.
Good. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. Being it for animal, I tell you, I plan to sell you cars. I bought it from the Porsche dealership in Long Island. That's the only problem. I've been driving it, and I know I shouldn't have. I bought it with 800 miles. It's not like 1,600 right now.
Gotcha.
But I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
If I find the right buyer,
you
because
need somebody that's gonna.
I'll sell it at sticker. That's what I own it for. I'm owning it too much, but
But that's what we're getting. So that's what we're getting. I just sold a black, matte black, red diamond stitch, 22-inch wheel car for $249.
Okay.
So you're definitely in the realm. If somebody appreciates a big sticker car,
That's and there's always somebody out there that wants it. It's
Yeah.
just like I said, I was like, holy shit, what did I buy?
Yeah.
I mean, I buy this shit all the time, and I've been doing this since 08.
Yeah.
07.
Yeah.
And I'll put my balls out there, excuse my French, and I'll buy heavy cars all the time. But I was like, shit, what did I do on this one?
I mean, we have 16 in stock right now, and I've never seen that. So.
You have 16 of them in stock?
Yeah, literally.
Are they still selling pretty well, or are they slowing a little
The
bit?
25s are the other ones. The other ones we're going to take a.
But the 25s are still...
25s are, yeah. If you
Okay.
get them correct.
Hey guys, Ben here, just wrapping up at cars.com and the AccuTrade event. It was really informational, met a lot of cool people. Hope to come out here again and get interviewed or be able to get on a panel again, but it was a great day, and it's also great to be in Chicago when it's sunny and actually warm out. Have a great day.